So I've been following Cody over at Wranglerstar for many years, probably 10 or 12 years, and we've actually corresponded in the past. We share a lot of the same values, a lot of the same topics on our respective YouTube channels. We even have some of the same sponsors. But I have a serious disagreement with him over a recent video that he posted. And this video was about how to deal with home invaders. And he used this bag by Vertex to talk about preparing a home invasion kit. And I have a couple of disagreements about this, serious disagreements about this, and also a couple of better recommendations, things I think are better solution to dealing with home invaders. And so that's what I want to talk about today. So in the video, which I'll link below, Wranglerstar says that we should use this bag by Vertex to defend ourselves. Now, I love this bag. I use it all the time. I take this with me, my vehicle, take this out with me, and I've got many of the same stuff that he put in his bag. A blaster, you might call it, even a first aid kit, stuff like that. But I have two issues with this. Number one is the safety. So obviously, if you have children in the home or other people that you don't want to have access to your firearm, your blaster, well, then this is not going to have any kind of protection for that. A child can easily come up to this and just unzip this and grab your gun, and that's not a good thing. And the other reason I don't think this is a great option is because just the practicality of it. If I have a bag like this next to my bedside, well, first off, I've got to get the bag. I've got to open, he actually recommends having a set of earmuffs, hearing protection in here, which is also in another case. So you got to think about this. You open up the bag, then you open up another case with your hearing protection in it. Got to get your hearing protection on. Then you got to get your blaster, open that up, get your blaster out. Realistically, you have a home invader, and by the time you are realizing and aware of what's maybe actually happening in that moment, whether it's an alarm going off or you hear the glass break and you're kind of waking up out of sleep and you're like, what's going on? By the time that you are getting your bag, getting your earmuffs on, opening it up and getting your blaster out, that's quite, seconds count in that. The other thing is that he recommends just carrying this with you around the house. Well, I don't know if I want to carry this. I don't know if I want to carry anything with me around the house. Because, if I'm having to duck or crawl or move or something, I don't want this thing like moving around on me. He says just to sling it over your shoulder, and you could even use it as put in a Premier Body Armor plate in here and protect yourself. Sure, that's fine. But realistically, in the moment, I'm not going to be wanting to carry a bag around, and certainly not opening it up and getting hearing protection out and whatever else. So I would rather not use this. I have two better options, I think, for dealing with a home invader. All right, so the first option is this by Stopbox USA. This is a gun retention device. Obviously, I want to have a knife and a flashlight near me on the bedside table here. But this option here may be the best of all worlds because it's just purely mechanical. You've got these kind of buttons right here. I'll show you this in just a second. These buttons right here, and there's nothing to fail. There's no batteries. There's no biometrics or anything on here. It's just simple. You can set different codes here. So I can just push a code, which I've got set, open this up, and there you go. So obviously you want to have a light on your firearm at night. But there you go. It's that simple. And so if someone doesn't know the code, they can't get into it. So there's that. That takes care of the safety issue. But I love this because you just kind of press down a little bit, push whatever code you have set, and open it up. So that's a great option. It's very strong. And also, if you want to connect this to a nightstand or to something more stable, it does have a hole right here. You can actually put a cable in there and then wrap the cable, lock the cable up something, around something that, this makes this stable and people can't just take it with them. Obviously, you can use this in a vehicle as well. So it's just a great option. Very, very fast. If I'm laying here on the bed and I hear something, I can just reach over and again, quickly open this up and grab and go. So I think that's a much better option because, again, if there's a bump in the night or glass breaking or something, the alarm goes off, then I'm just going to do that and take that with me. It's very fast. So that's the first option that I would recommend. All right, so the second option I'd recommend is something like this. So this does use biometrics, but I can put my finger up here. That just drops down and got another firearm here. So either one, but that's another one that I think is a great option. I've got this just inside a closet right here, not too far from where my bed is. So I can, if I need to run across here, get behind cover, conceal here, and just, again, put my finger on here and it drops down. Now I can access it other ways. It does have a key from the back, other things, but you can mount this. It's got a mount. You can mount this next to your bed. So you don't have to have it in a closet, obviously, like I do here. This can be something that you just, mount in your next to your bedside. So that's another option. Again, it's very fast, and you can also put in a code. So if your fingers are kind of bloody or dirty or oily or something, I don't know, then you can just use the code as well. So it's a backup system, I guess, to open it. But this is a great option here. I mean, there's tons of them out there. I don't really know anything about that brand, so I'm not going to really recommend that brand per se, but this one works for me. And so it's just another option. But I think this is better too, because you're not going to have anybody, a child being able to access that. You program your own fingerprint on there, your own code on there, so the child is not going to be able to access that. Now, the one downside, of course, it makes a little beep. If if that's a problem, then I would go with Stopbox USA. But this is, I think, a good option, another option to consider if you're dealing with a home invader. Well, guys, I hope it's been helpful for you today. And if you have better thoughts, or if you have a disagreement with me on any of these things, please drop that down below. I'd love to hear your comments on that. But if you've not done so, please consider hitting that like button, subscribing to the channel. Really appreciate you and your support for us. We'll see you on the next video.